I'm making soap again, and this time the skill that I'm going to be working on is how to do a swirl of a different color that sits just on the top of the soap. This is the next step in learning, and I'm excited. So here's the soap making, and I will tell you all about what I learned this time at the end. cheated on this recipe. I didn't actually use the recipe that it called for in the book because when I went to make it, I realized I hadn't ordered the right oils to be able to follow along. So I went to the internet and I created my own recipe, which is the thing that I've been trying to avoid doing. But I had some other oils on hand, so I knew that I wasn't going to be going over on the oils that I had purchased to do the recipes in the book, and I threw together something, and I also did a smaller batch size. That's why the soap ended up being smaller and, you know, like a lot lower, luckily, because I was sick of splashing everything in the container. Pretty excited to have created this recipe, so at the end I can compare how the soaps work with the recipes out of the book versus my homemade recipe, and then I can also do some price comparisons, because one of the things that I was considering when creating this recipe was something that would be a little bit more affordable, something I wouldn't have to, you know, go purchase online oils to make. So for this lesson, learning how to do the soap swirl just on the surface, you were supposed to actually only color the top color and then have the main soap be the natural color. But I didn't want to do a scented soap this time, and so I used cocoa powder to color it, and I colored the main batch, and I used a lot of it. I used more than probably what they'd recommend just for color, because what I was hoping is that it will still have that kind of cocoa-y, chocolatey smell when you go to use the soap. Right now when you go to smell it, it smells like cake batter. It smells really good. And I don't know if that's gonna be a smell that's gonna stick around through the cure, but for now I'm pretty excited about it. It's something that maybe, you know, this idea of mine will work out a little bit for a super easy, super cheap scent and color. So 4th time soap, going into it, I'm definitely starting to feel a lot more confident. Just the continuing to blend the soap batter when it's already been a couple minutes, and you know the recipe said, oh, it should come together pretty quickly. I'm feeling confident in doing what the soap needs. Like, I can clearly see when it starts to thicken up like pudding. I can feel it. I kind of mentioned that in earlier videos. It starts to change, and you can really feel it with the blender and the way it stirs, even more so than how you can actually see it doing the light trace on the surface. Doing this batch as a small batch, I learned something else, which is if you don't have a container that's deep enough for your hand blender, you start getting a lot of air into the soap batter. This batch, I was getting lots and lots of air bubbles into it, which seemed like it was making it harder for the blender to actually stir it the way I wanted it to. And then when I went to cut it today, I actually saw that there's bubbles in it, and there's bubbles on the surface that kind of show through the white detail. One thing I'm excited about for my skill progressing is this batch of soap only took me an hour to do, from start to finish, measuring the oils and everything. The confidence that I'm getting having experienced the soap making means that it's speeding up the process. And this was a soap that was colored and, you know, separated, and then a little bit of a decorative detail on it. So this is, you know, that 1 hour for doing a soap like this is a reasonable amount of time. It makes me happy that it's not going to be 2 hours forever, because for me it's hard to find 2 hours in an evening when the kids are asleep when I can go and get this done, but I also don't want to be doing this when the kids are around. So as for doing the soap swirl itself, I would say that it was simple. It didn't feel very difficult to do, but having done it and looked at my soap swirl compared to the soap swirls that I see other people do online, I definitely say there is some physical skill to being able to do it. The process has me thinking about latte art, and how if you're a barista and you're pouring coffees all day and you have, you know, 30 times an hour to practice the hand movements of smoothly pouring out the foam onto the coffee, you're gonna get a little bit more skilled at it, a little bit quicker than what I'm ever gonna be able to do with the soap. You know, here I am, I'm pouring it out for the first time. How many of these do I need to pour? You know, being a professional soap maker, obviously I think my skills would build a lot faster because I'd be making tons and tons of soap. But for just, you know, home use soap maker, it would take me many years to get to the point that I'm going to be as skilled at making the beautiful swirls and lines on the surface of the soap. That said, the goal here is to make beautiful soap. So this is just step one. This is just on the surface. I want the beautiful soap all the way through. So this is skill building for final soap, which better be beautiful soap. We're gonna make some beautiful soap here. Overall, I'm really happy with how the soap turned out, and you know, I'm still having a lot of fun making the soap. I'm still excited for all the batches that I have to go, and I'm starting to get excited because the time's ticking and I'm getting closer to when I can start using it too. So, you know, there's the fun of making it, and then there's the fun of getting to use it, and that really is what it's all about, right? That's what these skill building, you know, hobbies are all for. It's all for that end product of being in the bath and knowing that I know everything that's in the soap and I did it myself, and you know, that's when the sense of pride really kicks in. I'm not gonna share the recipe that I made because I don't actually know if it makes good soap or not. I gotta wait and try it out. So I'll throw the recipe on here after the time's gone by if I'm happy with how the soap turns out in the end, but you're probably not watching that then. You're probably watching it like when I first put this up, so. But if you want to get recipes that I'm using in the other videos, make sure to check out Kelly Cable's book. I have the link down below for where to get it. I've been really happy with it so far. The next skill that I'm going to be learning for my beautiful soap is to do a layered soap. And I'm really excited for this one because obviously I'm going to cheat again. That's what I've been doing this whole time. I'm all about cheating because I want to make stuff more advanced than my meager soap making skills. So what I'm going to be doing with the layered soap is I'm going to be making a gardener soap, and one of the layers is going to have coffee grounds in it because I want a really rough exfoliating soap so that when I come in from the garden and my hands are just caked with dirt, it'll be a really great hand soap to use. So stay tuned, I'm gonna work on that sometime this week when I can get a night to do it, and I'll probably have it up for next week. Yet again, all my soap making friends, if you have any tips for me, let me know. I suck at soap making, so I need all the tips I can get. And you guys have been helping me so much so far. I actually put salt in this soap to get it to harden up a little bit, and this is the first time that when I've gone to cut it, it's been like not super mushy. This is the second day when I went to cut it, and it cut the way I thought that it should cut based on the other soap making videos that I've been watching. So I'm excited to have that trick. Thank you so much. And if you want to see if I end up making beautiful soap in the end, and this is your first time here with me, make sure to subscribe because that's the end goal. I'm gonna have beautiful soap. Might take me like a couple months, but I'm gonna get there. I gotta get it done before garden season starts full swing, because then I won't have time for this. So beautiful soap, that's the goal. Wish me luck. Okay, see you guys.